Jack's Journey brought to you by coronavirus. Yeah, stay tuned because I'm gonna make some chicken salad. Right now, how about a little piano music from my favorite pianist, my mother. Well, good morning. Working on a video that'll come out Friday. Putting some final edits on this. It's about chicken salad. I was thinking about many things today and how difficult life has been getting. This is, a week that I've been with no work. And thank God that my needs are met. I guess I was really thinking about how hard it is to believe God's promises when everything is just going against you. The great people of the Bible, their faith has been tried, tested in the fire. Why I think sometimes that's not going to happen to me? Actually, I kind of liked life the way it was before coronavirus, don't you? Didn't you? Things were going really well. I was about to buy a motorhome, something I wanted for 40 years, and still have everything in place to do it, but that's a lifelong dream that looks like it's, I'm not going to say gone, let's say postponed. How's that? I should know better than to doubt. I remember whenever we wanted to buy our first house. So this would have been 35 years ago. But my wife, the faithful one at the time, wanted a house. We were living in the trailer. So we worked with a realtor who'd been working with our family in Ohio for many years. Martha, wonderful lady from Virginia. Oh my goodness, what a sweetheart. Every blue hair perfectly in place. Her makeup was always perfect. Her nails perfect. Just a sweet Southern lady. We looked for weeks, house after house after house, and she kept wanting to know how much money we had. And of course, I didn't want to tell her because I had none. See, God does the impossible when we cannot even believe the impossible. So after looking for weeks, I think she had kind of gotten discouraged with us, but and I was, just kind of along for the ride. This was Sherry's thing. She wanted a house. I didn't care. I guess I can live in a trailer. So I think Martha was about done. We'd been looking at houses, and she said, "Well, I have one more to show you. I don't know why I'm going to show it to you, because I sold it this morning and went to give people the keys and take their check. So I stuck the key in the lock and it wouldn't turn. And when I did that with the people who were going to buy it this morning, they yanked the check out of my hand and said, just forget it. So now I have this empty house sitting here. I'm really done. I don't have anything else to show you, but this house, we can drive by it. We can't even look in it because the key won't work. I tried it this morning. So when we drove by, I could see Sherry's face light up. This wasn't a drive-by. Sherry's almost, pressing her face against the window of the car. Stop. I want to get out and look at this. Well, Martha reluctantly turned into the driveway and said, well, I guess if you want to walk around it, you can. So we did. We got out of the car, little Cape Cod, red brick Cape Cod. Sherry walked around it, but when Sherry is around, you can feel her presence. Yeah, I'm in love with her. Yeah, I know. And if you love somebody, you should be able to feel their presence. Well, I can. I can feel her presence. I can feel her thoughts. So we're walking around it, and I can just sense the power of her excitement. She's the one believing for this house. So we walked all around the house, came back to that side door where the key won't work. Sherry said, I want to see the inside. Martha said, we have to come back when I have a key. I'll have to get a locksmith over here. Martha put that key in that lock. She turned it to the left. Nothing. She turned it to the right. She pulled the key out a little bit, turned it to the left, turned it to the right. Didn't work. She pushed it all the way in really hard. And she turned the key to the left, to the right. Then she put her shoulder against it and tried to turn it. Nothing. Martha said in that beautiful southern accent of hers from Virginia that we would just have to come back when she gets a key. Sherry said, may I have the key? Martha just looked at her and looked at the key, shrugged her shoulders, handed it to Sherry. Sherry put that key in that keyhole, put the other hand on the doorknob. She turned it. Click. The deadbolt moved. Sherry turned the doorknob. We were in. Sherry's eyes were just on fire with excitement as she walked through this tiny, tiny little house. Maybe 800 square feet on the main floor and then one long bedroom upstairs. It had a full basement. But I could sense this was our house, and Sherry knew it. Sherry said, we'll take it. Okay, you've got to get financed. So how much money do you have? And I don't remember all the details exactly how it happened, but I had to let her know I had $400. How much do they want for the house? She said, they want $38,000 for it. I said, well, I can't pay that. Well, how much can you pay? I said, I got to talk to somebody about how much I can pay. So I have to let you know in a day or so how much I can actually pay. We'll make a counter offer. So I went home, and these are times you have to get by yourself. Nobody can do this with you. You have to do this by yourself. Often people don't think that God hears our prayers, but he does. Sometimes in the most dire of circumstances, we don't know that until we get in those circumstances like we are today with coronavirus. So we went back to the trailer, and I found time alone. And in my heart, I knew what I was going to tell the realtor, and I knew exactly what was going to happen. So I called the realtor. We set up a meeting, and I said, I want a counter at $32,000. And the realtor just said, Jack, they're not going to do that. They're not going to take 32. That's a tremendous discount. And I said, you tell them I'll give them 32. In my heart, I knew I was going to pay 34. That's what I heard in my heart during prayer. Tell them you'll give them 32, they're going to come back at 34. That's your buying price. So she said, well, it's my job. I have to tell them that you're going to offer them $32,000. I said, that's right. I didn't tell her what I was going to actually pay. So she said, well, I'll call them and I'll call you back. She called me back. She said, they're not going to do 32. I knew that. You know, when faith is in your heart, you don't even need somebody telling you. You know. And I can't explain faith, except it's the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. That's what it says in the Bible. And I know that to be true. It's the substance of things hoped for. It's the evidence of things not seen. I didn't have the substance. I didn't have the evidence anywhere except by faith. Faith is supernatural. It's something cannot be explained except the way the Bible says it does. So she said, they're not going to accept 32. She said, what about 34? I said, 34 is perfect. I'll take 34. Okay, now you're going to have to get to a bank. How much money do you have for a down payment? I had to tell her $400. That's all I had. And I can feel, she's thinking these people are young, and not only young, this young man, he's stupid. That's me. Well, I might have been, but I knew Sherry's faith, and I knew what I heard in my heart, that we would buy that house for $34,000 with only a $400 down payment. All of a sudden, I felt a light bulb going off in the realtor's mind. I could just see her take a breath, kind of lean back. She said, I have an idea. I'll get back with you. She knew that the seller of the house owned the house outright. There was no mortgage. She also knew a very cheap attorney who could handle what in those days was called a land contract. She called the attorney, ran this idea by him. She ran the idea by the seller. So here's how it all worked out. With $400 down, which was the attorney's fee, he drew up a contract. We did a land contract on that house. I think my payment was $300. I gave the attorney $400 and agreed to pay $300 a month to the seller of the house for 3 years and then get a conventional mortgage. With the interest and the principal that we paid that man, he got his $38,000 or something close. I don't remember the numbers exactly. The whole point of this little story is this: we are living in COVID-19 times. Things are looking impossible, but nothing's impossible with God. So I'm going to finish editing this. I just wanted to share that story with you. I'm going to wish you a good morning. I want to say believe God for the impossible, because with God, all things are possible. This video will be out Friday morning. So we will see you then, if not before.